Greetings. What's that? 2 videos in 1 week? No, but in all seriousness, I am trying to get back to uploading more regularly. I will aim for at least 1 per week. It used to be about 1 per month if I was lucky. So yeah, I'm really trying to get back into it. So thanks for the love so far. I'll probably do like a vlog each week and then one of these kinds of just random videos. Really need to spruce up this background, a little bit depressing. Not much going on. Does anyone know of a manufacturer of these creaseless hair clips that aren't cheap and nasty? And the problem is that my hair gets caught in the metal. I tried searching online on like Mecca, on the Iconic, and they all just look like the exact same clip but just different branding or coloring, like it's been privately labeled. I'd like some plastic ones or something. I saw a TikTok the other day, I'll link it in the description, sharing like his different approach to foundation and concealer and how to make your makeup look like you're a celebrity, and you know how the makeup always looks flawless, etc, etc, etc. Well, I'm gonna give it a try. That sounds fun to me. She said to start off by using a cheek and lip tint all over like her lips, she used it all over her eyes. Okay, I've got 2 to choose from. We've got Rare Beauty in Joy and SheGlam in Rose Ritual. I think for my skin tone right now, would go with this one because it has more of a rosiness to it, whereas this one might look nice with a tan, but when I don't have fake tan on, it might go a little bit orange. So she applied it. Ugh, feels so weird putting it on bare skin. It's not meant to go there, but we're gonna put it there anyway. So yeah, we've moved into our new house. We've been building, if you've just tuned in for the first time in a while, we have been building our house since 2021 and it's finally move-in time. Well, it wasn't, at least in, I think it was May. So I literally just putting this everywhere because it's gonna get covered up anyway. Yeah, the whole building journey was really fun at the beginning because you're so early on in the process that like nothing can really go wrong. Well, that's not true at all because I know that a lot of people have had really bad experiences, but in our situation, it was fine. Like had always good things to say about the builder. I recommended them on my socials. And yeah, as the months progressed, it just became a worse experience. You get treated more like a number. It was just, yeah, it just got really progressively worse. Oh, I wasn't meant to put this directly on my skin. She said to only put it on the brush. Okay, we're off to a good start. Anyway, so there were a few things that kind of just tainted the experience for us, unfortunately. And there's still quite a few things that they need to fix now, and the kind of communication has dropped off to an even lower level, which we knew it would, but there isn't really much we can do, unfortunately, because they have all of the power in this situation. Anyway, that's enough of the negative stuff that I want to talk about. I hope that mirror is out of the way now. Yeah. Apologies for the constant light changing. Where I live now, it feels like it rains 1 second and the sun's out the next. So currently the sun is out, but in 3 seconds the rain will be raining and the clouds will be covering the sky and the light will change again, but I'm just keeping you on your toes. Okay, so I look like I've been out in the cold, which I think is actually the intention behind this, to get that kind of flush. I mean, that kind of looks cute though, doesn't it? Anyway, so yeah, we've been living here. I'm going to use the Mecca Max Selfie Skin 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I'm well aware that this is now discontinued, and I'm really upset about that, to be honest. And I don't know, if there are any Mecca workers watching this video, please let me know what a dupe for this is, because the color is perfect. I love the coverage, the finish, but of course it has been discontinued. So that is wonderful. She said instead of putting it directly on your face, you put it onto your hand and you start on the perimeter of your face. So by starting on the outside and not applying it straight to your skin, you need way less product. And I mean, I think it was Bobbi Brown in my training that she said you're meant to start in the middle, and then by the time you reach this portion of your face, you really shouldn't need much foundation because most of our redness and discoloration is around here. I think that was right. Otherwise it was the opposite way around, but I can't imagine her saying start here because most people don't really need the coverage there unless you have something that you specifically want to cover up. But so yeah, this is kind of going against that. But as we get older, I don't want to have as much makeup in this T-zone. I'd rather have more here and less in the middle, because the middle is where all of the lines pop up and where makeup is obvious. Wow, this looks really cute so far. I can't tell if it's the technique or if it's just this great foundation. I'm gonna zoom you in further so you can really get right in there. Gosh, I love this foundation. Oh, the color is perfect. It's like a little bit darker than my neck, but that's perfect. I don't want to be the same color as my neck because it makes me look ghostly. So yeah, we moved into the house, and then Reese had the health stuff go on, which you can watch the video on that if you would like to know more. People have been asking for updates about, you know, has he received a diagnosis? Again, I did talk about this very briefly in my last vlog, so if you'd like to watch that. I'm just using a very light amount through here, but he hasn't received a firm diagnosis yet. Still, I don't think they're thinking it's drug-induced lupus anymore. I think it's more cholangitis, which is a serious infection of the liver's bile ducts, which makes so much sense. All of his symptoms, everything makes so much sense. Why he had so much pain in his, like in that liver area, the spleen area. So I don't know why. I mean, I guess the doctors wanted to rule out all of the really heavy, serious stuff like lymphoma first, because if it was that, you want to treat it like immediately. But yeah, he's on a 3-month course of antibiotics, which is wild. But they said, you know, the risk of being on antibiotics for that long is outweighed by the risk of not properly treating it and not nipping it in the bud fully. So ever since he's been on antibiotics at home and getting back into the swing of things, he's been much better. Much better. He's gaining weight again. He's gained like 5 or 6 kilos, which is amazing. He looks so much younger in his face. Like, it's funny that you don't realize when someone's losing weight until A, you're around other people and they point it out, and B, they gain weight back, because I'm looking at his face and it's mainly here. He became so hollow around his eyes and he never really looked like that. And now that's getting fatty again there. Not fatty. Well, fatty, yeah, fat's a good thing. He's getting like fat and, you know, he's just getting bigger again, which is so nice to see. Swear to God, if you want to try and take silver linings out of that experience, oh man, really transformed the way I view life and also how much I appreciate him. I feel like we were always so in love and appreciative of each other and that kind of thing, but you reach a new level of that feeling when you're in a really scary situation health-wise. Oh man, that was just not a fun time. So that's Reese's update. He has gone off that last medication that he was on that did have potential side effect of lymphoma, which I have to say I am very happy about, because I just cannot, I mean, obviously if that was his only option and all of his specialists recommended it, then what am I going to say? But it's just, I feel like I kind of relax a little bit knowing that he's not on something that can cause such a scary side effect, because you always think, oh, you know, yeah, the chances of happening to me are so slim, but I mean, as I said in one of those vlogs, like, he was the first person to have an adverse reaction to one of the other medications he was taking, and he was included in medical literature because of that. So it's like, you think you're safe from those things until it happens, and then you're like, oh, so I am that one in large number where, you know, the unlucky one. So his gastroenterologist has been looking into these. That's a great thing as well. He's in a deep remission at the moment, which is the best time to be changing medications. And I was like, well, why does he need to be on medication still then if he's already, like, you know, in remission? But I think they might want to maintain it, ensure that the remission is maintained. So not jumping off straight away and then having a flare up and starting back from square one, because it takes so long to get to a point of deep remission. God, this looks beautiful. Stunning. What was that sound I just made? Anyway, enough about Reese, but yeah, he's potentially just starting a new drug, which is great. Less side effects, easier to take, that kind of thing. So that's that. Okay, so I used that whole pump up. Now, she said, you know what, I've actually been skipping concealer underneath my eyes sometimes, because I must have seen a TikTok or something about it, but that sometimes makeup can look better when you don't have foundation on. I don't know. I just don't mind it like I used to, but I don't anymore. And I mean, let's be honest, a lot of that is also probably just the fact that I'm getting older and I can't wear the amount of makeup that I used to wear because it makes me look older. This is my little cup that I bought, by the way. There's a little duck in there. You'll see it soon as I continue to drink this drink. I need to put it in front of my face so it focuses. It's a bit dark when you think about the fact that it's drowning up until I finish drinking. Okay, the next thing she said was concealer. She never, like, you know how we're all used to painting it in the middle and these areas here and there? No. Forbidden. I'm not sure if I need a new concealer or this one just smells weird by default. It smells like fish, like a rotting fish. I don't think that would be normal, if I'm honest, but I'm gonna keep using it because it still does the job. A moment of an uncomfortable smell for a day of brightened under eyes. So she just puts a little bit here, basically. I think she said it was her orbital bone. I thought that was the area there, which is what that is, yeah. Kind of like the tear trough, and that is where mine gets the darkest. And I have been trying to avoid bringing my foundation up super close to my under eyes because I do have lines there. Ooh. That's too much, I think. Yeah, I think I just put too much on. But normally I would start here and start blending out from there, but that's the last place I'm going to go. That wasn't her tip, that's just me being forward thinking. Because I don't need concealer there. I know I don't have dark circles to begin with, so perhaps my approach will be different to yours, but I don't need a lot of concealer there. Okay, I think I've spoken too soon. I think I might actually need a bit of lighting there. I'm just gonna look up and just blend this. That looks nice. I also enjoy recently putting a bit of, I'm gonna put this just on my brush, I think. I can't even tell how much I'm putting on there, but just a little bit. I have a thin nose bridge already, so I don't like the contouring thing, but I like to do it this way, which is it's almost like highlighting the edges of my nose. And then when I set them, this area here all kind of blends together. I don't know, it makes the bridge less, it kind of slims it even more or something. I don't know. I think I need to put some more of that on my, I'm just gonna, try not to put too much on the side of my nose as well. And maybe just a little, oh, that was too much. A little bit on the inner corners because I do get a little bit darker there. Little circles and whatever excess I have, I'll just blend it over my eyelid. Oh my gosh, speaking of which, I need some advice, please. Some lounge face advice. So not everyone follows my every move on social media, but Lounge Face, my beauty brand, just launched its first ever brows collection. So the second product release since the mascara, and it's been amazing. I'm still eagerly awaiting seeing all of your beautiful brows with the products in. It looks better. It just has brightened a little bit around my eyes, I think. But yeah, so I will use some of those products in a second, of course, but eyeshadow palettes. I've spent at least a year and a bit working on this eyeshadow palette. Two palettes, 8 shades each. One's a cool palette, one's a warm palette. I just am having second thoughts. First of all, severe second thoughts about the cool palette. I have a gut feeling that I'm going to do it because some people obviously don't want to, like people with my coloring, fair skin, you don't want to be wearing like really warm toned eyeshadows sometimes when you have fair skin because it just looks orange. But the majority of people wear warm toned eyeshadows, and I'm feeling like if I make a cool tone shadow palette, there will be some people that will love it, but the majority of people will not buy it. And I can order, like say I could order like 7 warm palettes for every 3 cool palettes or something like that. I'm also just feeling like I'm not inspired by the idea of having 8 shadows just in a warm palette, because I feel like it's already been done so many times, and I know I can create really great eyeshadows, but I just don't think that people are gonna rush out and buy something like that, because who doesn't have those palettes already in their collection, you know what I mean? But I still wanna do something. I just don't know what. I went onto some makeup retailers to sort their products by best sellers. I'm like, what are people buying? What do people want? And I feel like the 2 tops were the Charlotte Tilbury 4 quad palettes, which is so expensive. And the second was kind of like a Too Faced Neutrals palette. But again, I'm like, I just don't think it's something that is, my main concern, if I'm being perfectly frank, I'm just using the She Glam Soft Tan Sun Sculpt Liquids Contour. Really great product. I'm really aware of buying all this stock, thinking it's a warm eyeshadow palette. How can that go wrong? And it's not that it'll go wrong, but I don't want it to sit there. Because when you're a brand of any size, everyone has to order the minimum amount of stock. Depending on the product, that amount might be different. And even on the packaging, I have minimums. Like the minimum for the mascara packaging is almost triple what it would be for an 8-pan eyeshadow palette. I've got to buy more tubes than I need and just keep them aside to eventually fill them later, because I, as a small brand, can't afford to fulfill all of them, and I don't want to have stock just sitting there. You know what I mean? So I'm really aware of that. I'm really worried that I'll make something, and as a small brand, like, it's a big financial investment that's why I can't do like 10 product launches at a time, because I don't have millions of dollars just sitting there waiting to be poured into a product line, and I don't have investors by choice. So I'm taking the slow and steady route, which is one product release at a time, which has its own, pros and cons, of course, as everything does. But I'm gonna go back in with the product I used on my cheeks at the start. Look at sorry, the lighting is so annoying. So yeah, I'm just at a loss about what to do. I did think about like making a whole face palette where it's, maybe like a couple of 4 eyeshadows or something, some cheek colors and like a highlight color. But I thought, people don't really use those. I can't really imagine a lot of people would be using one palette to their entire face. And then I think, should I just do the little 4-pan palettes, like a couple of 4-pan palettes? But then even then, I just don't think there's enough of a demand. I don't know, I just want your feedback. I mentioned this to the lab, and I think I freaked him out a little bit, because we've been working so hard and doing so much sampling and that kind of thing, which I know is a big investment for them as well. But I had every intention of releasing a palette, but then I just kind of stopped recently, and I was like, is this actually the right thing to be doing? And I've learned that lesson over and over and over again. Do not overcommit yourself to something. Just because you think it would be a good idea doesn't mean it will actually be the best idea. To set my under eyes, I'm going to use the Kosas, what's it called? Airy Cloud Set. I use this one just more localized to my under eye area, because I do like to lighten it. And again, I'm trying not to go too close to those creases, to those wrinkles. Not wrinkles, they're just lines. Is that the same thing? I don't know. It's not from like aging or anything, they've just always been there, but obviously as I get older, they become a little bit more pronounced. And then along the bridge of my nose, the side of my nose, a little bit just to set there. Oh, I need to blend out my creases on my eyelids, blend those out. And I'm thinking, what products should be next? Maybe I should do lip products instead. Like, what products would I like? I do love lip products. It's just a long journey starting from ground zero, and I think it's kind of the whole sunk costs fallacy, where I'm like, I've come this far with the shadows. It feels like it's just a waste to pivot and try and do something completely different when like we're kind of almost there, so close. That makeup looks gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm using the Hourglass Incandescent Strobe Light highlighter. And I was thinking about, cheek products, that kind of thing as well. Why does my middle of my nose look so bare? It must be because I'm applying all the products to the sides of it, but not to the top. Let's go with brows. Lounge Face brow products. So we've got Lounge Face Brow Pencil, which is my personal favorite. Lounge Face Brow Builder, which is a cream gel tint that fluffs up your brows, adds a little bit of definition, adds some fullness, body to the brows, lifts them, holds them in place. Soft hold, not like crispy crunchy. Then we've got Lounge Face Clear Brow Gel, which is a strong hold gel. It is clear, it'll hold anything in place. So the brow pencil, I didn't go into explaining that because it's all self-explanatory. Vegan, cruelty-free, of course. I hate doing the spiel on these every time I use them, but I know there's gonna be people here that haven't heard of them, so I feel like I need to give them their moment in the sun. Someone just messaged me and said that she bought the brow builder and the brow pencil and took a photo and looked so good. And she said that what did she say? And I think she said she hasn't used a brow pencil in so long because they always pull and drag on her brow eyebrows and her brow hairs. That's the beauty of this baby. It's so soft and creamy and beautiful and pigmented that it just glides on, and you need the smallest amount of pressure, and it's water resistant. It's gonna last you all day. It has this beautiful extra fine tip. That's the wrong end. This is the right end. Like, can you see how small it is? It's so little. So little, but you don't want to wind up too much, otherwise it'll snap, just because it is so fine. So I want to take the other end off as well, so I can kind of comb as I go. So I like a more, sorry about the mirror, I just need to see what I'm doing. I like a more structured brow, because my brows are microbladed, so they already kind of follow a set path, and I just don't think the whole like this brushed up thing suits me. It's not really my vibe. So if that is your vibe, I think you're gonna love this regardless of what kind of brows you have. But if you do have the fluffy brows, or they're really naturally full brows, but you just want a little bit of extra oomph, the Brow Builder is right up your alley. Okay, I like to start on the tail of my brow because it needs the most definition, especially after I've applied foundation and the foundation's kind of covered up some of my tattoo, the brow tattoo. I am using, oh, I can't even see, My own camera's trained me. So just short little strokes. And I go underneath. I'm really now nervous that this is gonna lose focus while I'm focused on something else. I'm doing this. So funny, that was such a good joke. So worthy of sharing. Oh my God, look at the color match. This is taupe, by the way. And you just keep building up basically until you're happy with how it looks. And then at the start of the brow, I just do, again, small little streakies. I do little horizontal ones here, just because I like to have the bottom of the brow supported and defined very lightly. And then I'll just do short little upward strokes, because at the beginning of my brow, I don't need as much definition. They're already kind of full there. And then I'll brush that through. You know what another great thing about this pencil is that I love? Both ends, like both caps, are the exact same length. Oops. So you know when you sometimes you have like a lip liner or a brow pencil or something, and then you go to put the short lid on the long end and then you damage the tip of the product? Will never happen because they're both the same caps. No damage. N-O. Probably going a little bit overboard now, but I'm just having fun with it. So if this is your shade, but you don't want this darkness, not the right word I'm looking for. This is the right tone, but you have very light hair and blonde isn't the color that you want more of a cool tone like the taupe, then you use a really, really gentle hand when you're applying it. But if you're like me and you want more of that, you know, color on your brows, more pigment, it's not that you have to use more pressure, because that's not what I would want you to do. You just can go over it a couple more times and build up the color. Yeah, don't like go, because that's overkill and I don't want you pulling at your brow hairs. Okay, we're on to the other side. Now, I am aware that I didn't, look, my life has been kind of hectic all at once. Like, these brow products were meant to launch in like February, so. And then my life turned upside down and we moved, and then Reese got really sick, so we weren't even home at all. And then the brows got delayed and everything's just been a nightmare. So I really kind of didn't do my normal, I kind of dropped the ball with the launch, to be honest, of these products. It was kind of like, yeah, they're here, they're there, they're available, and then I haven't really done much since. I need to actually sit down and create a lot of content around these products and show you the different shades and how to apply them and different scenarios and like a step-by-step, because I acknowledge that I have not done that yet. It was just kind of, it all happened at once. So if you have any questions, I'm going to do this on my Instagram anyway. I'll do a poll, or not a poll, like a question box, Q&A type thing, where I will ask you to ask me any questions that you have around the products. Let me know what you would like me to show you or demonstrate, and we can go from there. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself, because although, you know, it was a great response when I launched, I feel like I didn't do these products justice. Like, I am so proud of them, they're so good, but I haven't put the time in to actually communicate that. So I have a lot of work to do, and I am so grateful for all of you that placed orders and rushed onto the website when they went live. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised to see your support, but it never feels any less incredible and heartwarming. So as always, thank you, as always. And these brows are always a little bit different, so I get caught in the trap of trying to go back and forth and fix them and get them identical each time, and it never really works. So all right, wind the pencil down. That's done. Normally I would just go in with the clear brow gel by Lounge Face, but because I want to show you the products, I'm just going to use the brow builder as well, kind of in replacement of the clear brow gel, because the brow builder does set them in place, but it's just not as strong of a hold, and it adds color, which I don't need at the moment, but I just want to show you how I use it. We're getting there. At least she's swimming now. She's swimming in like an oil spill or just a really dirty river. Both are somewhat depressing regardless. It's much cuter when she's swimming in like just plain water or something. I don't know why I've gendered her. She's a she apparently. All right, I'm using taupe yet again. Look how beautiful this packaging is. I just love the color. I do. Can you believe that I love the packaging that I created? Okay, here we have the Magic. Again, I haven't cleaned these because I'm not going to clean them just to make them look aesthetically pleasing for the internet, because that way you can see that I've been using them. This is really simple. I just start wherever I have the least amount of hair, or where I need the most color, which is of course the end of my brow, as I said earlier. I don't want to start at the beginning of my brow because you're going to deposit more product than you need. You're not really going to see much of a difference in this circumstance because I've already got the color behind my brows and I'm not brushing them up. Whoops. So it's not really doing it justice, but the brow builder was actually a lot more popular than I thought it would be sales wise. It's kind of on par with the brow pencil. I thought the brow pencil would be a lot more, like ahead a lot more, but it's the kind of, the brow pencil is definitely ahead, but not by as much as I thought. And then at the start, you can see I've just very lightly kind of brushed them up. It is kind of hard to see, and it makes it even harder when the light keeps on changing, but ooh, that looks so good. Again, I'll use this on its own in another video because it's not really doing it justice. You can kind of see that it's like styled them and it has added a bit more color to my brows and held them in place more as well, which is amazing. And it's a soft hold, so they still feel like your natural brows. Yeah, when I use it next time, I'll probably just do what I normally do, which is add a little bit in my arch because I don't have enough definition there as I would like. And then I'll go in the brow builder afterwards. I can just go in with like brow builder on its own, and I can use the tip of the wand to, you know, fill in those bare patches, but that wasn't really the goal with that product. It's either to use on its own if you have those full brows that don't need much definition, like, you know, this kind of definition, or in conjunction with the brow pencil. And a lot of you guys have been buying the brow pencil and the brow builder together, which is exactly what I'd hoped for. They are best used together if you don't have those like model brows, which I know a lot of people don't. And if you use this in just the areas that you really need it, and then you go in with the brow builder throughout your brow to do most of the heavy lifting, then yeah, these will last you a while. So that's a benefit too. Oh, my little clear brow gel is getting no love today, but I'll show him in another video. But it's, you know, of course, pretty straightforward. Just a clear brow gel that is everything you want it to be and none of the bad stuff. All right, Lounge Face out. One last thing, because I mention this every time I talk about these products. So when you open it, that's the packaging, glossy with the embossed logo, stunning, stunning. And then you open it up and look at the color inside, the beautiful, vibrant green. And then the product comes out and it looks like that. Oh, it's just gorge. Okay, that's enough. Just call the number on your screen now to secure your very own Lounge Face products. Also, I'm just putting my makeup products away, but it's pretty crazy that I don't really set this part of my face anymore. I mean, I just love that foundation. I don't need to. It's so weird. I only really set here and like, yeah, my T-zone, but never my cheeks anymore. Wow, I'm growing up. I'm not gonna do a full eyeshadow look today. I just wanna do some winged liner, which is so random. So this is an example, Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. So this is just one matte palette. And I'm looking at his shades and they all look warm. They are all warm. Let's be real. How many does he have? 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, I don't know. I really need to know what to do here with the whole eyeshadow situation. Anyway, that is enough of that for now. What am I going to use to give myself a winged liner? I think I'm going to use this one here. It's a bit more of a cool tone. I don't want anything, again, too orange because, or too warm because it's going to make my eyes look sick. Now, I like to use eyeshadow for eyeliner in general, not only because, oh, it's creasing a little bit, but yellow. I haven't said yellow in a while, but because it's just easier. I'm not a skilled eyeliner girl, unfortunately. After all these years, you'd think I would have learned, but no. The hardest part for me is getting the wings even, which that's not too bad. And then I just dip my brush into the palette. I'm gonna push it into my lashes and line my lashes. How does that look? Using eyeshadow is just a lot more forgiving. I should link that video that I did a few years ago on this trick. You'll just have to mind my very big lips. They weren't even big, they were just very like this bit here, kind of like that. So they were nice and defined. I've still got lip filler, I've got lip filler now. You can probably tell there's a slight like shadow to my lip, but we had to use a whole new product because my face keeps eating filler. Well, not my face, I don't have it anywhere else at the moment, but my lips keep eating filler. Like it just disappears in the shortest amount of time. I keep trying different ones. And it's weird because a few years ago when I was still seeing her, I didn't have that problem. But I think, is that just because I was using so much more than I am now, or getting them done more frequently, that it just like was kind of building up on top of each other or something? I don't know. And I feel like I kind of need to go back and get jaw relaxer, like the jaw muscles, what's it called? Masseter injections to help relax my jaw a bit again, because it's a couple of nights I've been waking up with really bad headaches from clenching. I'm assuming it's clenching. But it's just so expensive. So expensive. And I do like the facial slimming effects, but it does create mini jowls. I can tell that but my jaw's gotten wider again because I don't have those jowls that I had before. It's literally this pocket here, this line, and normally there would be one there. Because there isn't as much mass pulling the skin back that way, it naturally goes forward. It's like if you lose weight and your skin becomes more lax. Is that the word? The laxity's increased? I don't know. There's just not the same amount of mass for your skin to stretch over anymore, so it's still there, but it's just got nothing to spread out over, so it just goes forward and kind of makes you look a little bit older. So yeah, you're fixing one problem, but then you're kind of creating a new one. I need to do eyeliner more often. I really like it. But this kind of eyeliner, like soft eyeliner, you know? So what else has been happening in my life? Well, now that like I feel like I'm getting back to myself, like I'm going back to the gym again, not like personal training like I was before, but I'm doing group fitness, which I'm so proud of myself because I was always so intimidated by that. Oh my god, if I had a superpower and I wasn't allowed to pick being able to fly, because that would be the best superpower of all, I would pick invisibility. I just don't like being perceived. It's like, I don't like being perceived in public. In private, like on your TV screen, I can control that. I get to choose what you're seeing. But if I'm out and about and someone's like watching me in a shopping center or something with Reese, and like watching how we interact, or what I buy, or what I look at, or how what my facial expressions are, or if I look grumpy or happy, or or even in fitness, like a fitness class where I'm not confident, I don't have experience, I'm not social. There's all these things going against me in my mind, and I feel like a little fish out of water. So it just terrified me for so long. And then I thought, well, I don't want to get another personal trainer because it's so expensive, and I don't think I'll ever find someone as good as my last one. And I just can't do that forever. Like I need to just toughen up, you know? And I knew that I didn't want to do like F45 or something. I don't feel like I would find that just intimidating. I don't know. So then I found like a place that has a really wide demographic of like people my age, people a little bit older, and then lots of older women. And I'm like, yes, this is my jam. I love being surrounded by women of all different shapes, sizes, ages, rather than just people that are my age that are like just intimidating, which isn't their fault, it's my fault. My insecurities, again, probably from like high school, just, you know, anyway, that's on a separate topic. But so anyway, I've been doing that, which has been great. It feels really nice to be getting my fitness back and doing something for myself and feeling strong again, and just like overcoming a really big mental hurdle that I've had for so long. Can you guys please tell me, these are both a little bit dirty because I've been using them, but which color do you prefer? These are eyelash curler samples and it is such an amazing eyelash curler. Do you prefer black or silver? I initially thought black would be way better, but I don't like that with black, whoops, eventually like here, I don't want the black to start wearing off and then it have the look yucky. Whereas silver, it won't wear off because that is just the color of the actual material, like that is the color of the material, you know? So as much as I like black, I feel like silver might be the best option, but you guys will have to let me know. And silver probably also gets less dirty. Anyway, we'll figure it out. You and I will figure it out. So yeah, I'm just trying to like slowly get back to myself. I feel like all of us are in the age now where if you've had kids, you will probably understand what I'm talking about. I only know this because I've got friends who, all my best friends basically, have had babies, and they talk about like the struggle of kind of losing yourself a little bit and your identity, and because all of your time and your attention goes on raising this child, so you kind of become the second priority, maybe even third priority. Sorry about the shadows here. It's, again, we don't have curtains in this house yet, so I don't really have an option, don't have a choice but to let the shadows in, let the light reflections in. I did get extensions and then I removed them because I'm not about that life. I just couldn't deal with the maintenance and the feeling of them. But that gave me a little taste of having long hair again, and God, this eyelash curler is ridiculously good. Gave me a little taste of that and I was like, I just want to get back to old me before we move down here. We moved into that rental and I became like a different person, and I want to get back to the person that I remember. You know? But it's still different because 3 years have passed. That's a long time. I'm not like the fashion beauty girly that I probably was more so back then. Even then though, I was transitioning out of that a little bit. But yeah, like I feel like I just uploaded a TikTok and an Instagram reel, but of the same video, of like a little morning routine thing. I think I'm gonna start going that way, like, because that's where I get the most engagement anyway. Like I kid you not, my Loz Curtis Home Instagram account with, I don't even know how many followers I've got on there, like 50 something thousand I think. That gets similar engagement to my main account at this point. My main account engagement has been low, to be fair, recently, but it's picking back up and I just can't believe that. I feel like yeah, they get similar numbers. It's amazing though, because that's the stuff that I love talking about and filming at this point in my life, is just home stuff and the simple stuff and like the vlogs of, you know, nothing particularly exciting, but it's just real life. It's not like, oh, let's go on a holiday to some tropical location every few weeks and let's do this and let's do that. It's just like, because let's be real, most of us, that is not reality. So while it was appealing to watch when we were in our, like, you know, mid-20s and early 20s and even sometimes late 20s, it's not really how life looks at this point in time. And all of my audience has grown with me, so... Oh, hey Memes! He's pushing the door open. So yeah, it's a change that I welcome, but I've just... Yeah, like we're at the very beginning, guys. We're at the very beginning of this new journey, so let's see how it goes. If you don't follow me on TikTok, Loz Curtis, I think. Before and after. I think I'm gonna tint my eyelashes after this. I'll finally record it. I get so many people asking me how I tint my lashes at home, and I still cringe at the thought of sharing this because it's not the perfectly right way to do it, but it works and my eyes never sting, so I'm doing something right. But it's just the beauty therapists that are like self-appointed police of the beauty space that I don't want to deal with you did this wrong. I might put a legal disclaimer at the start of the video. This is not advice. This is a anecdotal demonstration of how I did my lashes at home. With a big caution sign at the beginning. Do not try this at home. Your eyeballs will explode. God, this eyelash curler is so good. I also didn't realize I never really touched on why I stopped streaming on Twitch. I just find that it's a really big time commitment and I wasn't able to make it worthwhile. Like, I only gave it a couple of months, and you really need to kind of sink years. Well, not for everyone, obviously, there's always unicorns, but you really need to kind of hustle for a long time in order to get the numbers that potentially make it worthwhile. And I just don't have the patience nor the time to commit to that kind of schedule. So I found that I was spending like 3 or 4 hours in the morning doing this, and it wasn't really, I mean, it was fun. I had, you know, some days were really fun, other days I felt like I was just trying to fill the time, but it just, yeah, it didn't really stick because it wasn't really, I don't know what I expected it to be, but it's the hardest platform that I've ever joined. Like TikTok is, TikTok you can kind of, you have an easier chance of going viral. It's not always guaranteed obviously, but if you have a few key things, you can really have a good crack at it. But Twitch is just, God, it's like a really high barrier to entry and you really have to be so committed. So it's not to say that I won't ever go on it again, but I think if I'm going to do anything like that, it's probably going to be on, I might try YouTube out one time because I have a following there already. Hopefully a higher chance of success. Tell you what, I swear I used to be, like I have always said that I loved winter. Winter was my favorite season. Oh my God, this is so annoying, sorry. But I think that is beginning to change. Summer will always be my least favorite season. I hate it, it's too hot here. But I think my favorite seasons are either spring or autumn, which is fall if you're American. Because it's just too cold at this point. And I've been getting a bit chicken when as I'm getting older with like rain and lightning and stuff. Ever since our house was hit by that lightning strike and it zinged some of our electrical goods, I don't know, it just freaks me out and I don't like it. And even when it's really, really rainy and windy, I'll put my earplugs in when I'm sleeping. I don't know why I'm having this like regression as an adult, because it never used to worry me. I used to love the thunder and lightning, you know, it's cozy. Not anymore. Now it's traumatizing. Yeah, even the number one thing I hate about it, that's right, the number one thing I do not like about it is the fact that the sun sets at like 5 o'clock. Let me check that to be factually accurate, make sure it's factually accurate. So, sun, last light is at 5:50, so that's when the last bit of light is in the sky. But the actual sunset is at 5:30. Oh wow, it's getting ever so slightly later now. It used to be like 5:15, now it's getting, over the next week, it's like 5:24, 24, 24, 25, 26, 26, and then Tuesday is 27. So it's creeping slowly back up as we get slowly towards spring. But yeah, like in summer, it's light until 7:30. Or even 8. Oh God, it's good. And now that we live rurally, I hate driving at nighttime because I'm scared of hitting a kangaroo. Terrified. Like, I think the American version of that is what, like a deer or something? They just walk onto the roads, as they have every right to. I mean, we're the one that's driving through their territory. Yeah. I bought a new one of these from SheGlam. Now, someone said that SheGlam, I was Googling this, that SheGlam is actually separate to Shein. The Shein makeup and SheGlam makeup are two different things. I thought SheGlam was owned by Shein, but apparently they're not. And people were like, yeah, everyone thinks they are, but they're not. So I'm like, well, I don't know. So SheGlam is based in Singapore, apparently. I'm assuming that Shein is based in China, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, this is I haven't finished my original one of this, but it broke when I opened it, so I wanted to get a new one. This is the, SheGlam Glam 101 Lipstick and Liner Duo in the shade Praline Pie. I just really like the color of this. Oh, it's very sharp. It reminds me of my past favorite lip color by Lawless. They did like some liquid lipsticks and it was a beautiful color. Then I think they discontinued them. I would also just say something in the safety of the end of the video, like where there are probably less people still watching. I feel like I've been wanting to get this off my chest for a very long time, but I don't want to seem like a hater. And I don't think there's any way for me not to sound like a hater because it's something negative that I'm saying. It's an insult, but it's not meant to be like a mean, like, you suck insult, but it's just a, I'm confused. Am I the only person that thinks this way? Margot Robbie's American accent, any accent other than Australian, it is not good. They are not good. Even the Barbie, I can hear in all of the movies that I've watched with her, she's a great actress. She's absolutely beautiful. And I think that I find her whole journey so exciting. Like I remember watching her on Neighbours, and then all of a sudden she was in The Wolf of Wall Street. I'm like, sorry, that just doesn't happen to most people. What? But her accent, it is so Australian. But I've never heard anyone say anything about it. It's always that she's amazing, and she is. That's why I've never felt safe to say it, but I want to get it off my chest. Am I the only person that thinks it's shockingly bad? You can hear so much of the Australian come through. And not that that's like, not that it's, I'm saying that's bad because I don't like the Australian accent. It's bad because she's not meant to be doing that accent. It's meant to be an American accent. And I think about actresses like Nicole Kidman, who I've never once heard her acting sound her American accent sound American. Sorry, her American accent sound Australian. There's not been one time where Margot Robbie's accent has sounded purely American. And I don't know if I'm just being, I feel like I've gained nothing by sharing that except being a negative Nancy. But perhaps I'm just, wow, well, the sun's really coming out and not doing me any favors. Karma for being a hater. I'm not even hating, I think she's wonderful. Genuinely think she's a wonderful actress, just not good at accents. And maybe it's a lot harder than I think, and I'm not saying it's easy, but I don't know. Maybe I am implying that it's easy by whinging about it. I guess I am. I don't know. God, I love this makeup. Love it. The wing. Love a wing. Love a wing. Love a wing. So with lip products now, this was actually a lot lighter than I remember. My other one, this looks like really peachy, whereas my other one's quite red berry-ish. Much more of a berry undertone. I don't know if I just didn't apply as much. Because I recently got all excited about wearing like more neutral tones. Most of my jumpers now are neutral, which is really bland and does not do me any favors unless I've got like a strong fake tan or something. So I'm trying to wear colors, and this is the warmest thing that I have that has somewhat of a color to it. But yeah, I need to buy some really plain jumpers or something that are just bright for filming, for this purpose, so that I don't just blend into the wall behind me, you know? Thank you so much for watching. Love how this makeup turned out. She was definitely onto something, that lovely lady who I took inspiration from TikTok. I think I did like the video, so it's saved. I'll link it in the description so you can watch it if you like. Yeah, really nice outcome. I haven't fake tanned in a long time because I've just been busy with life, but this is the kind of thing that this is the kind of makeup that I think suits me when I don't have a fake tan. Really simple base, some pinkness to my cheeks. I almost prefer having bare eyelids and then just having the wing and really intense lashes, and then a nice pink lip. Like, it's hard to go wrong with a nice pink lip, you know? It was nice to chat. Thank you for joining me. Please let me know if you have requests for other videos that I can do on my channel, because I am all ears, all ears. Let me know what you like to see, what you enjoy watching from other people. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all so much. Don't forget to follow me on, what's it called, TikTok, at Loz Curtis, and of course Instagram, and of course Loz Curtis Home on Instagram. And of course, Lounge Phase. And yeah, I'll see you all probably sooner over on those platforms. But otherwise, next week on here. Bye everyone.